Hey there, I'm Mystic, and welcome back to my channel. We are continuing our playthrough of Beacon Pines, where we have just gone through so many different branches and had to restart several chapters over again. And we still haven't gone to the bottom of what is happening in Beacon Pines and who is behind it. Well, actually, I have a guess as to who is behind it, but it's not solid proof yet. We did have a fight with our friend Rollo, and I believe we're going to go and try and make up with him and enjoy I think it's called the perennial harvest. I'm not 100% sure because there have been like 2 different harvests that have been talked about, and your girl has a really bad memory. So let's get into it and figure out what's going on and continue our story.
Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rollo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air. But the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rollo.
Now, where could Rollo be? Oh, hello. There you are! Luca. Rollo wanted me to tell you something. What is it?
Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head.
Well, this doesn't sound good. A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. Roxy, I don't... It's a riddle, Luca. My goofy little brother wants you to find him.
Luca looked down and kicked at the dirt.
Look, I know you two had a fight. The one thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm doing him this one favor. Now I need one favor from you. Whatever it is that went down between you two, squash it. Go somewhere quiet. In all honesty, I wanted to try and but I wanted to see what would happen if we wanted to go check out our dad. But he doesn't look like he's here. Okay. I can't even, like, look at anything over here either. Okay. Now, go somewhere quiet. The library? The library is somewhere quiet. Oh, hi there, Festival. How goes the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as an excuvier. I don't know how to pronounce that. And it's not just the beetles. This morning, I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left. I'm sure they're out here somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. Welcome to our festival. Don't forget to come back later for Mr. Kerr's speech and the Perennial Harvest Festival sign reveal. You don't want to miss it. Alright, so let's go talk to this guy. Can I? Unique New York. Huh? Oh, don't mind me. Just warming up for my big ceremony speech.
Mr. Kerr pointed to his grinning mouth.
Gotta limber up the old bad gab box. Oh, gotta limber up the old gab box. I know how to read. You nervous? Oh, heavens no. Well, break leg. Give me the gift of a sock. Okay. Can't talk to you. Me. I don't know who Perennial Harvest thinks they're impressing with this ridiculous festival. Totally. The town's still falling apart. The weather's still cruddy. And this season's harvest looks like it's gonna be worse than last year's. You said it. No amount of corporate pandering is gonna change any of that. Exactly. But the lemonade at the drink stand over there does look pretty tasty. Fits. I'm still gonna be mad at them. I'd just rather be mad while sipping some delicious lemonade is all. I mean, she kinda has a point. Just act cool. Ain't moving. Okay. Every single time. Yep. Wait for it. Unexplained sound once again noted. Like clockwork. What a bunch of drones. Ha ha.
Jeff was staring into the distance with a wistful look.
Hey Jeff, everything alright? Huh? Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, used to be fine. Just ain't right these days, you know? I really do, actually.
Jeff turned to Luca with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod.
You do, don't you?
For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze.
Okay. Anyways, we're gonna go check the library. Oh gosh, there's so many people. A most welcoming of welcomes. Would you like to share your thoughts? We always strive to improve. Nope. Goodbye. This is the first time I've seen this many smiling faces since the fall harvest. I had my doubts about perennial harvest, but I must admit, they do put on a nice party. Fair enough. Right, you're eating. Who are you? Piper, you're actually taking a break from studying? Oh, I did not recognize Piper. To be fair, I've only seen Piper once. I wanted to see what the festival fuss is about. But I can't help but notice you still brought your backpack full of books. Luca, backpacks can carry a lot more than just books. True. So, what you got in there? Books. I mean, he wasn't wrong. I was able to return the perennial harvest safety suit you borrowed. I don't think anyone noticed. Good. Now, will you tell me what you needed it for? It was a favor for an enemy of my enemy. This isn't going to harm Mr. Kerr, is it? All you need to know is that it's for the good of the family. Ominous. Dawn? I've got a question for you. What do you think this whole festival is for? The way I figure it, Perennial Harvest is trying to win over the town. Like a bribe, but with balloons. Cynical. I like where your head's at. That's why I assumed at first too, until I eavesdropped on a couple of gossipy clipboards. What if I told you that this whole thing is really a special shindig for a super secret guest of honor? A special guest? Who? I haven't dug that deep yet, but whoever it is, PH thinks they're a big deal. Interesting. I just want to see if I can interact with these guys some more. Nope, okay. Sounds good. To the library. I go check over here first. What you got for me today? Luca, did you know that Beacon Pines is actually unincorporated? A lot of people don't know that. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know. What's that mean? It means most public works are handled internally. We do all the pipelines, the water treatment, building regulations. That's great. Census taking. He's just walking away, just like, I'm just gonna keep backing up and you just will never notice. Emergency services. Bye. I am just having so much fun just touching the watermelon. It is a great joy. The library, somewhere quiet. Let's give it a look. Hey, Aluka.
Kato's eyes lit with excitement.
I've been expecting you. Bravo on deciphering the first riddle. Nice. The first? Oh, you didn't think that was all, did you? Rollo does go all out, doesn't he?
Kato straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing.
On planet Farpul, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue.
Kato stared at Luca eagerly.
Get it? Want me to tell you? No, it's okay. Let me figure it out. Alright, when you find it, bring it here to be verified. And if you decide you want a hint, the offer still stands. On planet Farpul, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue. The fifth issue, I'm guessing? Hey, Jazz. Still working through the newest Hank Atomic? You know it. Some fascinating canon toward the end. Did you know Hank Atomic Shrink Array doesn't technically shrink stuff? It uses inverse quantum particle decay to literally grow the entire universe around an object, leaving that object unaltered. So it just looks shrunk compared to everything else? Bingo. That's wild. But Jazz, no spoilers, please. Oh, right. Sorry. Okay, so my question with that is if you continue to try and shrink things, the universe is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it possibly explodes or just gets too big, where it takes up all of the space of the universe. So I feel like that's impractical.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5, from the shelf.
Once you've got a book, you can either bring it here to me or just grab a different one. Ah, you found it!
Kato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed.
Why do you have an ultraviolet lamp?
The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition.
Rollo's cipher pen. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it. Well, apparently he traded Jeff for this purple light bulb. Parted with his entire Halloween candy stash. Oh, Rollo. Now let's see here.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word.
Get away with such a grift.
He continued flipping.
Only found in grub cart.
Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
That's it. Grift in grub cart. Griffin? Griffin's grub cart. He wants me to go Griffin's snack stand. Ah, brilliant. I guess you're off then? Good luck on the rest of the scavenger hunt. Thanks, Kato. To the stand. Hey, Griffin. Did Rollo
Before
come?
Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog.
Oh, that's it? Bought and paid for. Enjoy. I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or something.
Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Ugh. It's cold. Yeah, it's been sitting here for a while. Rollo wanted me to be sure to give you that one, specifically. Well, that's just...
Luca tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
Really? Oh, come on.
He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip.
A pickup when you need some pep. Near the fountain up the step.
Luca finished off the remainder of the corn dog.
It's cold, though. This is going to be a whole thing. Pick up when you need some pep. Near the fountain up the step. Okay, so fountain is here. I'm going to guess like the coffee shop, because most people need coffee to get some pep. Hi, do you have answers for me? There you are, Luca. There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade. Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun. Fine. But Rollo owes me one.
Lumi waved his hands around sarcastically as he began.
What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task a friendship brings. See, that wasn't so hard. Ugh, I feel cheapened somehow. I think it's sweet. What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task a friendship brings. What takes flight? At first I thought I was thinking of dusk, but no? Do bats have wings? Are they technically wings? I'm not sure. Good luck, Luca. What takes flight but has no wings? Oh, hi there. I didn't even notice you. Balloons. Balloons take flight but have no wings. That makes a lot more sense. I was actually going to go talk to Dusk to see if she had any answers, but clearly I don't have to. Hey. Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yeah. Well, then, I know it doesn't make up for what I said, but here, you've earned this.
Rollo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Thanks. You didn't have to go to all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. Dang it, you were supposed to let me apologize first. Oh, sorry. Now you've apologized twice before me. Just let me do this. Luca, I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened, with your mom and all, I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know? When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Rollo, still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. But that was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. Okay, apology over. You can talk now.
Luca threw himself at Rollo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
Aww. Rollo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try to find some info about your mom. Snoop where? We could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait one more day. You know, I have been wanting to get some work done on the MCDC at Mission Control. The aim is a bit unpredictable. That sounds perfect. To the treehouse! Okay. Wait. I can talk to you some more. What? I didn't even see what he said. I clicked too fast. Did you hear? After Mr. Kerr gives his big speech, they're gonna have the first annual biggest catch competition. As long as the boot qualifies as a catch, I'm a shoo-in. Good luck. Okay, I was gonna say I want to try a fish. Let's see if there's anything else I can get. Oh,
Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
Honestly, I would have found it funnier if you had me cast a tomato. This must be some strong items. Oh, is that a clock? Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He may not even want it back. Man's got a continuous relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Okay. So there's one more thing that I can fish out. At least if it's supposed to fill up like that whole entire blanket. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rollo handed Luca an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much.
I'm concerned.
We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it.
Alright, if this is from his gran, this sounds like she's going to be leaving him, and that is not good.
God knows I've tried. Everything I've done. I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
Gran? What's happening and where are you going? Like, are you leaving Luca now? Like, what's going on? I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
So now Luca has nobody as far as he's aware, besides Rollo. What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whatever you want. Look at them just chilling. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but we'd been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Rollo.
Luca was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
The festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Uh-oh. What's that? Sounded and looked like an explosion. Aw, man, we missed the fireworks?
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
Why is everything frozen?
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, It encased them in ice. 2 boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason.
Like, what the heck?
And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene.
That's so creepy.
In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't.
It's definitely a creepy ending, and still nothing was answered.
I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either.
Honestly, I would just like to know what would have caused the cold to
There
happen.
are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it.
You know, at this point, I just want to know, how many endings have I encountered already?
We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
Because honestly, it feels like a lot of endings I've gone through already. Alright, so we can do a break. Can't change anything there, or there. Okay, so we can do a flight. Which one do we want to do? Do we want to do a flight, or do we want to do a break? Let's do a flight. Flight, run away!
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, this is, I forget what his name is, but he's the bully. And we pushed him into, like, this toxic green goop. So, like, part of his face is essentially turning him into a monster. So that's who is with us right now. But I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. Ah, his name is Iggy. See ya, jerks. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way. We'll take the tunnels. Why are there tunnels? Why are there
Luca
tunnels?
and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket.
I don't think flight was the answer here. I don't think that's going to give us the ending we want.
The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice.
Well, it seems like ice shouldn't be around here.
Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire.
I guess this will also explain as to where the cold suddenly came from.
With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
Oh, goodness gracious. That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost him. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Let's try this way. Oh, Luca? Luca, are you there? Oh, and also in this timeline, Rollo got captured by somebody, probably Perennial Harvest, aka the Clipboards, aka Mr. Kerr. So the only way we're able to communicate with him is with the walkie-talkie.
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
Is that Bozo Kerr? I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods?
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
Oh, I thought it was Rollo, not Kerr on the other end there. No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
Well, we're not talking to you anymore, Mr. Kerr. We gotta keep moving. Okay, so not... Okay, so can't go this way. So we'll go down. What's this?
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. 2 faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it. Alright, well, we can't open that. Oh, hello. Why do I feel like we're in a different Beacon Pines? Because that's our Beacon Pines sign. At least I think it is, unless it's the same kind of sign for every other place around here. What's the readout? Sin just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Meh, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. Yeah, that's not concerning. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into Weepwood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Nope. Attack! Oh, well, I definitely missed that. Okay, well, yep, that's super creepy.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all the snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Okay, so we gotta follow the men in the hazmat suit. Oh, jeez.
The fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Looks like the stuff they put up around Weepwood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. This stuff look familiar to you? It looks like the barrel near the puddle I, shoved me into. Yeah. Oh, this is creepy. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, swim run.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Yeah, probably don't want to lay down or sit outside in the frickin' snow, though. Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence.
The way the snow covered everything over, it's kinda calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sorta froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what the gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Jeez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rollo are always having a blast together. Laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse in mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. With his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get the impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh. It must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow, we'll get to the bottom of all of this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
I don't think y'all are waking up from this. Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. "Aw, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this." The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. "It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you?" Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. "Remember what?" The doppelganger pointed to the couch. "The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us." Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch.
Are you trying to imply that Luca's father chose to leave him?
"That's not true. He didn't abandon us." The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively.
What if Luca's father never really died? Because as far as we know, he's dead. And that, like, Luca, like, saw his body. But at the same time, did he really see his father die?
"Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Let me show you." The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went." He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. "Do you remember what we did next?" Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. "Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this." She was scared.
Get involved in what? What's happening?
His father stepped forward. "What am I supposed to do? Just watch?"
I guess, so we know that Luca's father died 6 years ago. And, I forget what the Valentine's name was, but Valentine also died 6 years ago.
"There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them." Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. "I can't lose you." Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. "What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this."
Okay, so Sharper Valentine. So what the fuck was Sharper Valentine doing? Because now Mr. Kerr is essentially possibly doing the same exact thing.
Eleanor raised her voice. "Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son?" Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. "Luca, is that you, buddy?" With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. "Mom? Dad? What's going on?" Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. "Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all." Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. "It sounded like you were going somewhere?" Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. "Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of." I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.
Who are
A
you?
figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall.
I don't recognize you from any of the other townspeople.
It stood above them, lingering in contemplation.
Okay, I feel like they're not really standing above them because they really aren't that tall.
Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head.
2 brisk what?
From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Oh, you just like knocked? That's all you did? Get your hands off me!
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger,
It's a mouse! It's a little mouse.
Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just, what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me, you...
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-hatted, scarfy-necked furball. Huh. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait! Do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well. I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
What are you doing, magic? Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place.
Nah, you looking to get punched right now.
Cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look now, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood. Or we teleported to some alternate universe. Or this is all some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. Wait, so the Beacon Pines we were living in is like a made-up Beacon Pines? You both grew up here. But the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. But a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You'd need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities, I don't know how to say that word clearly, which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, or revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane.
Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably.
So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover.
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. Why'd you say the source like that? Why, indeed.
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they could.
He looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weepwood. First of all, we gotta find our way into Weepwood.
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow.
Usually I feel like it's pretty hard to dig when there's snow.
His numb hands hit something hard. A headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
Oh no. You're here. All this time, I thought I was visiting you. But you've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply. Just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We gotta hide. It's gonna say hide where? Apparently in the bushes. 259k. Fall off distance, still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? First of all, why are there no footprints in the snow? Because they definitely would have seen footprints here, wouldn't they? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's a grave of someone with a family. The people who love them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey! Don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Why are you walking off like that? Weirdo. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Lucas stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey! Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover? Who you helping? Iggy, look at what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luke Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you, acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Kerr and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to perennial harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to the precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And what if it's too big to smash?
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. Nope, still won't let me run around that way. Gotcha. It can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rollo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to you? Yes, actually you do.
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Aw, shucks. Now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Can't go this way. Nothing there. Can't go that way. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So, a few years back, I, came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. So why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rollo were doing chores at Rollo's chicken coop. And you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just want to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the look on your faces. Rollo got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under that tree. Okay, I have a question though. If they rebuilt the town and like essentially moved everyone to the point where nobody knew the difference, how did they move these people from the original town to the new town? Like, they had to have done in like the dead of night or like knocked everyone out for a day or two. That's for sure. But when I came back for him later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found him and tossed him.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out, it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast-off, loser. We're coming for ya! What the frick is this?
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Well, that answers my question of where the heck did the snow and Arcticness come from? Echo! 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 Whoa! I can see why they want to move us all out of town now. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source. It's a dang hole. How do we smash a hole? Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr! Where's Rollo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drat, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
Are you contemplating of pushing them down? Into the hole? It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source, where they collect the unrefined,
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh, heavens no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us? You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
What does that mean? It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you are destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime. And you happen to be extras, ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not gonna be winning. Your smile's not gonna be winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. Oh dear. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop. Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you. Regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing? Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. That's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What, like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Bye-bye. Oh, that doesn't seem to do much, though. Ooh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow.
Oh no.
He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child! What have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. What channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference. They're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Luca's just out here being like, can you just unalive yourself, please? Like, give me my newfound friend back. Let go. Away with you. Long life? I'll have you know, I I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the parts of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Just kick him off. I have no clue what melody that is. Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no!
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
A calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. I know the answers except, but I'm refusing.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request.
I
He
refuse.
tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket.
I know it's not gonna be the best ending, but I'm not gonna let him go.
A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you?
I'm guessing because it didn't bring us back that this is actually an ending.
Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face.
I'm sorry, Iggy.
The end.
Yep.
I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
Yep. So, let's try accept then. Because I feel like that's also going to give us an ending as well. So, may as well.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good. No!
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
So hard, but why? Like, how does that make sense? Why would they go up? Wouldn't they just explode in there as well? Also, how are they exploding with no fire? Is my question. Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Are you a mouse or are you a possum? I think you're a mouse. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Oh, Jesus. Curious. But of course, those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempus liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all of this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world. Well, alrighty
With a
then.
chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
Huh?
Revenge served cold.
I feel like that's not a thing.
Second time's a charm?
Even the narrator is very confused about this.
Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
I think the only one is break. But that will be for next time. To go down the branch that break leads us to. In all honesty, it seems like Windows to the Soul has another branch as well for us to go off of, but that will be, hopefully we'll find the other option for that one eventually. But that is it for me today. Thank you all for hanging out with me, and I will see y'all next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.